Hello everyone, this is the Underground, also known as the German Viking, and I came across this article, and this is something I've been thinking about doing a video on the last few days. Now, just to give you some context, where I live in Norway, we have our BBC, and they decided, because of this documentary calling Leaving Neverland, which is from HBO, that they would censor and remove all Michael Jackson songs for 2 weeks. They aired it on the channel, and they also reviewed it and have written articles about it, being basically pro this documentary. I wouldn't even call it a documentary from what I know, because it is not balanced. A documentary is supposed to give you information, and you're supposed to make up your own mind. And it is not balanced, it is not objective, it is only one side, and Michael Jackson isn't here to defend himself. So, Matt Walsh and DailyWire posted this article. I know Walsh has been dead wrong when it comes to games and gaming in the past, so I'm not surprised that he's hyperbolic or get things wrong, so it's not the first time. And so let's dive into the article. Walsh, Michael Jackson was a monster, these 7 facts prove it. Okay? I'm gonna go in with an open mind, but you have to prove your claims. So, the first part of a horrifying Michael Jackson documentary called Leaving Neverland aired on HBO last night. It details quite graphically Jackson's alleged abuse of Wade Robinson and Jimmy Safechuck. Okay? Alleged. Okay? That's a very important word here. The most unsettling parts of the film are the lurid and, we should note, extremely similar description of child rape that both men offer. That the most shocking part, especially for someone like myself, who didn't follow the Michael Jackson's career very closely, was all ample and extensive footage of Jackson publicly grooming his victims. That's an assumption. That's subjective, and that's not an objective take. Jackson gallivanted around in public with young male companions for years. After several months, one friend would be swapped for another. Uh, Again, this isn't objective. You don't even know why any of this. Oh my god! I'm telling a journalist to do his job. Oh my god! Because this is emotional garbage. Never adults, never females, only pubescent boys. Again, that's an assumption. You have no. Oh my god. He may as well have won a sign announcing I abuse children, yet he escaped justice and for the most part public scrutiny. Jackson was certainly never a pariah like Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein, so this is a nice trick that people like him use to. They're not as evil as these people, but I'm gonna use the comparison, so you have an association to the worst people you can think of when it comes to these sort of crimes. So he's not that bad, but let's lump in with it. So it's an indirect argument he's trying to use here. If anything, his predation was treated like a punchline, but there was nothing remotely funny about it, as the documentary makes painfully clear. Of course, Jackson's infamously cultish and delusional defenders are not going to let anyone rip the halo from the man's hand. Wow. Look, I don't know if anything happened. I'm gonna be clear, but so far, you just assume he's guilty, and anyone defending him, saying innocent until proven guilty, is cultish and delusional. Wow. They have gone into overdrive, nearly shutting down the film's debut at Sundance a few months ago. Yeah, but was it shut down? No. While it was airing last night, legions of his fans trolled Twitter to pounce on anyone who expressed shock or disgust at what they saw. I ran afoul of the MJ zombie horde myself. I can report that they are as ridiculous and vicious as I've... You sound like an SGW, man. Oh, look, they're harassing us. They're harassing us. The Twitter trolls are around. Oh, no. You sound like an NPC, dude. The four most common arguments in defense of Jackson's appear to be, these are just allegations, which is true. He was proven innocent in court. True as well. He didn't molest Macaulay Culkin. Well, if we're gonna take people by their words, we have also Bate, who is Norwegian, who was also... he also said that he wasn't molested. Also Corey Feldman. So that's 3 against 2. So are we gonna use this logic or are we not? 4, he was just a challenge. Of these arguments, only the first is coherent. Of course it is. But we'll get back to that in a moment. The second argument reveals stunning ignorance about basic function of our court system. Nobody's ever proven innocent in court. Do I have to explain the presumption of innocence to this man? This is amazing. You can be acquitted if the jury is not convinced by the evidence brought against you, but this is by no means translated to proven innocent. Yeah, so if you have a false allegation against you, you're not proven innocent. You didn't get convicted. Are we seriously gonna use this argument when it comes to court cases? Are we seriously? Jesus Christ, man. You have to prove someone is guilty. Especially when the defendant is a world-famous, beloved, mega-wealthy celebrity with an army of top lawyers at his disposal. Someone in that position can literally get away with murder, just as O.J. Simpson. Okay. Again, I don't know if he did it or not. He was acquitted because of evidence. There was a lot of things that were thrown out because of the handling of the case. Does it mean he's guilty? Perhaps, perhaps not. But it wasn't proven in a court of law. I'm gonna give the presumption of innocence. I can have a personal opinion of that on mine, but you can't make that opinion objective. The third and fourth arguments are so humiliatingly stupid that I'm embarrassed to repeat them. You may, if you like, congratulate Jackson for managing to not molest a few of the boys he surrounded himself with, but that does not prove his accusers wrong. Oh my god, this is so stupid. I don't even know where to begin. I'm just repeating myself now. He was going back. You may, if you like, congratulate Jackson for managing not to molest the wrong. As for Jackson just being just a child, he wasn't. He was a grown man and not intellectually stunted, innocent simpleton like Forrest Gump or Lenny Small. But I'm told an artist, a genius, and the head of $1 billion empire. He may have been eccentric, but he knew what he was doing. Again, citation needed. All that he is left is the claim that now this is your claim. You haven't proven any. There are no links. There are no links substantiating your claims here. The only thing you're linked to is it almost getting shut down. Wow. Jesus freaking Christ. All that is left are these mere allegations, which is technically true, but the allegations are just one part of the puzzle. The other pieces are all proven and undisputed facts. They are: Jackson sought and befriended pubescent boys. He took these boys as companions and traveled the world with them. Every so often he will find a new young male companion and move on from the old one. The fact is not disputed. Again, prove it. You can't just make a statement like this. I'm gonna now I'm getting pissed off. If you're gonna make all these claims, prove them. Jackson lavished the boys' families with gifts and money. The fact is not disputed. Citation needed. Jackson invited the boys to his home, which was filled with toys and candy. This is fact is not again citation needed. Jackson invited the boy into his bed, and the fact is not disputed. Again, citation needed. By his own words, he let them sleep in his bed, but he wasn't in the bed. That's what I know. But again, citation needed. Jackson had a stash of bondage porn by the bed. The fact is not disputed. This is the only link you're providing. And what the hell is wrong with having porn? Are we so low on when it comes to demand of proof? Is that if he has some porn, that makes him automatically guilty? Jesus freaking Christ, man. The bed was in a room behind a locked door at the end of the hallway, equipped with an alarm system that would alert him when someone was approaching. This fact is not disputed. Citation needed. Again, which leads us to the last piece of the puzzle. Five of the boys who shared a bed with Jackson later accused him of abuse. This fact is also not disputed. Again, citation needed. Even if there were court cases, you have to prove this. It's a cumulative case. If all Jackson ever did was give gifts to random families, I'd say he was a philanthropist. If all he did was fill his home with toys, I'd say he was just kind of weird. But each piece fits with the next piece, and the picture just gets darker and more sadistic as you connect. Jesus. You are an NPC. Wow. On balance, the evidence against Jackson ends up being so strong. No, it's not. You haven't proven anything, Matt Walsh. That even if no one had accused him, we could still say that near with certainty that he was a predator. No. Again. Citation needed. Facts 1 through 6 are compelling enough on their own. No, they're not. Fact 7 is just confirmation. So, all allegations are not true. Let's just make all allegations true. This is basically Me Too is correct. The allegations against Kavanaugh are correct. The allegations against Trump are correct. Allegations against all Republicans are correct. You see the stupidity of the argument. You really want to go with this? Indeed, on no planet in no universe is there any good reason for a man to seek out young boys and share his bed with them. If an adult man is inviting boys over for slumber parties, the chances that he is not a pedophile could not be greater than, say, 0.1%. If that man is then accused and then accused again, and then again, and again, and again, the chance can no longer be a chance at all. So if people just say stuff about you, they're automatically true. You don't know the first thing what you're talking about. If something walks like a duck, flies like a duck, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's still technically possible that it isn't a duck. The analogy is amazing. Even so, if everyone is saying something, if all the other ones are saying, let's jump across this cliff or down this cliff without a parachute, because everyone is doing it and it's awesome, are you gonna do it, or are you gonna think for yourself? Seriously, because it's this collective mentality. It could be a tiny elf in a very realistic aircraft, but a rational person cannot take such a remote and fanciful possibilities into consideration when drawing conclusions about ducks or pedophiles. Yeah, awesome. By the way, everybody actually agrees with the fundamental point. No, they don't. You actually are contradicting yourself with you said in the beginning that people were defending him, but you called them delusional and crazy, basically. If a guy named Bob Smith or Mike Jones was in the habit of befriending 7-year-old boys, this really pisses me off. So when women can walk around with their children and not be accused of anything, but if I've heard multiple stories on men's rights and also articles of men getting accused of being pedophiles and all sorts of things when they're out walking with their daughters or sons in the playground, and they get these looks by women as if they're some kind of freaks, if they're single dags or just out with children. And this is the feminist argument this guy is using. Befriending 7-year-old boys and sharing in his bed with them, nobody would bother pretending that there might be a non-horrific explanation for his behavior. Only Jackson gets that benefit of the doubt from some people even now, because he could sing well and dance well. I could see that he was very gifted in both areas, but he was also a godforsaken monster, and no dance routine can mitigate that. Jesus. You know, this is why I hate the right sometimes. I've really liked what DailyWire is doing, but Matt Walsh, this is strike 2 in just a couple of months, and just posting this hyperbolic fake news garbage that you can't even back up in your own article with facts. Link your sources. This is unethical to such a degree. You have no one from the family that are being defended, or Michael Jackson can't even defend himself at this point because he died. This is so unethical. So I hope they fix this or update this with some facts, because this is utter garbage. I'm gonna use the archive link because I don't want to give them clicks for those who want to view the article. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.